Hello, this is Jamie Margaret. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this cute little box. It's a big enough box that it will hold any one of these movie size candies that you get, or perhaps 2 Hershey's candy bars that size. So let's get started. I'm going to move. You're going to start with a 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. That's what you're going to need to make your box with. Then now you could just cut circles freehand or punch them with punches. Let me show you what I used. I used the wreath die from the Home Together dies. That's this one, and I cut 2 of those. Those are going to be his eyes. And then from the wreath builder dies, I used this flower. I cut 2 of those for his buttons. You could use 3 or however many you want to use. And then this one, which I believe is supposed to be the center for that, and I cut 5 of those for his mouth and 1 white one. So these are black, white, these are dimensionals, these are already on glue dots, and then I cut 2 branches from Early Espresso. I cannot tell you which die this is. I don't even know if it's Stampin' Up. It's just one I had in my stash. This little guy, his arms are from this one. Where is it? Oh yeah, it's in my bowl. It's from the Home Together dies. It's this one. It's a tree. Okay, so whatever you want to cut them freehand, by all means, that's good too. Okay, so let's get started. Let's set this aside. Actually, let's just set this aside. You'll also need a child's sock. I got the socks from my Dollar Tree. There were 3 pair for $1, so you can make 6 of these. And then I have a 15 or 16 inch piece of ribbon. This is from the Boho Indigo product medley. You're going to need a bone folder, a pair of snips, and optional, a corner rounder, and a circle punch. This one's retired, but it doesn't matter, whatever size circle punch you want to use. Okay, and something to score your paper with. I'm going to go ahead and use my scoreboard. And on the 11-inch side, we're going to put it on the 11-inch side. I'm going to see if I can do it with this. I don't know. Let's just use the tool that came with it. We're going to score it at 1 inch. This is my second time filming this because I had so many interruptions, and I had a shocking pink shirt on, and it made everything in the picture pink. So 1 inch, 2 inch, 9 inch, and 10 inch. Okay, then we're going to turn it on the 8.5 inch side. We're going to score it at 3 inches, at 4 inches, at 7 inches, and at 8 inches. So you have, can you see them better on this side? Yeah, so that's what you have. Okay. You'll notice on one end there's a 1/2 inch mark. That's important to remember. Okay. Alright, so on this 1/2 inch mark, just take a scissor or a pencil. So we're going to get rid of these two little pieces here, these two little pieces here. We're going to get rid of this little square on either side. The two rectangles that are closest to that 1/2 inch, we're going to keep both of those. We're going to get rid of this little rectangle here, or square here, and then both of these rectangles here. Okay, let's open our snips. So let's start here. We're going to get rid of these two here, and I try to cut inside the score, or I try to cut that score line completely off. Okay, so I'm going to cut there. When I go to cut this part here, I'm going to cut it at a little bit of an angle like that. Okay, do the same on the other side. Okay, we're going to cut this square off. So we're going to cut inside that score line. And we're going to cut this one completely off. Cut that score line out. Do this at a little bit of an odd angle so I stay in camera. Okay, then we're going to go down here, we're going to cut this score line out. If you don't feel like doing that, you can just cut right up that line, that's fine. I just find it goes together nicer if you don't have that extra bulk there. Cut this score line out. Well, I just need to cut to the left of it because that's all getting cut away. Cut this little X off, this little box, and then both of those get cut off. Excuse me. Okay, I'm back. Let's do the same thing on the other side. We're going to cut these 3 squares completely out to the outside of that score line, the outside of this score line, cut this score line out. This one off. This last one here. Cut the score line out. And cut this one off. Okay, so that's what you should end up with. Okay, get rid of all these little pieces. Alright, now let's bring in our bone folder and burnish all these score lines. Helps our box be nice and crisp. Oops. Okay, now putting the box together is easy. We're going to fold, there's 2 rectangles here, narrow ones, we're going to fold those up. We're going to bring in our adhesive. I'm going to use the Seal Plus. Put adhesive on that little 1/2-inch flap. If any it goes over, just fold it onto itself. Okay, so put it down, fold those 2 flaps over. Then you've got that 3-inch rectangle, and this one we're going to fold just this one little rectangle over on itself, and it should line up and adhere that down. And that is our box. Okay, so we're going to put these 2 little flaps in and pop one end in. This is the hardest part, getting those corners in. Okay, that'll be the top of our box. Now we're going to bring in our hole punch. It doesn't matter what size, I just grabbed this one. This one's retired, but you're just going to snip a little tiny bit of a thumb notch out of there. And then on these 2 corners, we're going to round the corners. And if you want to do it before you put it together, you can do it to all 4. That's fine. The top is going to have the hat on it, so you're not going to probably open it anyway. Alright, so that's the bottom of the box. And this is going to be the back. Okay, so now let's come in, bring in all our little pieces. I'm going to put the dies away so I don't lose them. And my hat. I'm going to start with the hat. One other thing you're going to need is a small rubber band or a piece of ribbon or twine or something. Okay, so we're going to start with the hat. That way we know where to place the eyes. The heel, oh fiddle. Sorry. Alright, focus. Sorry about that. Alright, so there's your sock. We're going to start with that. The heel of the sock is going to go on the one side of the top of the head. It doesn't matter which side it goes on. I just always seem to do it this way. And just pull it on over the... And that makes it flop like that. Okay, then we're going to take this part here, the toe, we're going to tuck it inside like that, and then we're going to squinch it up like that. We're going to bring in our rubber band, our tie, however you want to tie it. We're going to put that on there. I just wrapped it around a couple times. And you're just going to want to try to tidy this up a little bit. Try to keep those as close together as you can so that it looks neater. Okay, so there's your hat. Okay, now the eyes, we're going to squinch a little bit. I'm going to put them on a dimensional. Squinch a little bit. And I squinched them because I just helped them look a little bit more like a piece of coal. And I just put 2 dimensionals on here, which is just easier for me to show you. We're going to do the same thing with these two buttons. We're going to squinch them. But this time we're going to use the small dimensionals. You probably could use a big one, but just squinch them up. Get a few wrinkles in them. Okay, these have glue dots on the back. The white one I've cut in half. I put glue dots on the back, and I'm going to place those onto the eyes for the highlights of the, whoops, I went flying, for the highlights in the eye. I want it, well, it doesn't really matter. You can just put them on however you want. Okay, so now we can make the face part. We're going to put the two eyes. And we're going to put the mouth. Probably got them a little bit high. I haven't stuck them down yet, I just set them, so. Okay, stick them down. Now for the nose. We have a piece of terracotta tile, and I have this stamp from Textured Essentials. I'm going to ink that up with terracotta tile. I don't need it to be perfect. We're going to stamp it. The texture goes this way. We want it to go this way across that piece. And we want one part of it that's a little less detailed. Okay. Wipe this off so I don't get ink everywhere, because I will. Alright, now we're going to bring in our snips. And we're going to round at one corner. And this is a 1/2 inch by 1 1/4. So we're going to round one corner. And then we're going to aim towards the center of this side, but we're going to do like a, we're just going to jiggle it just a little bit so that it's not a completely smooth edge. Okay, then we're going to start at that point. We're going to aim for this other corner. Round that off. There's our nose. And where's the glue dots? Put a glue dot on it. I'm going to bend this up just a little bit. See? And that's going to go on for his nose. Okay. Then we're going to tie on its tie. Wrap it around the back. We want the left side, or the one side, a little shorter than the other. Okay, I'm going to bring in a glue dot. Use my snips. I'm going to put a glue dot here. I'll fold this over. Okay, then you can trim these a little bit if you want. Alright, now we're going to bring in those buttons. Now this is determined by how many buttons you want. I'm just going to put 2. You might want to put a glue dot to hold this on, like back here where you want it. Depends on how tight you tie it. Okay, now for the arms. I'm going to go ahead and use these because I just really like the long ones. And what I did is, this is how it looks. I just snipped off this part. You can cut your own branches however you want to do it. And I want it so that the shorter one, like the thumb, would be up. So I'm going to fold these at the bottom. Add a glue dot there. Put that on the side of the box. I want it so that the fold goes forward. Like that. Well, I got them upside down, but that's alright. Glue. There you go. There's our little snowman. Now you could put like a banner in his hands, holding a banner, or however you want to do it. And this is the one with the other little arms. He's really cute, but I like these long ones better. Well, thank you for joining me at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.